do we have a festive treat for you, courtesy of our friends at NFL Films. Here's the game of the season everyone is still talking about, New England Patriots at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Never thought, man, my boy.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Santa's got something special for you. That's right.
Our job better than anybody else in the world, man. It's a game of us versus them, and guess who I'm taking? Us. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Rex. All day, give me everything you got.
Everything you got for your brother. Let's dominate today.
This is what we've all been waiting for.
Without Ryan Shazier and then Antonio Brown, the Steelers tried to defeat their nemesis.
Throws it over the middle and into the end zone is Eli Rogers for the Pittsburgh Steelers touchdown. Throws it to the end zone, and it's caught in the end zone by Martavis Bryant. Bell gets the call. Turn, down to the goal line. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. And the Steelers extend their lead to 8 with a score, Pittsburgh 24, New England 16.
Stay on their ass. That's how y'all eat them up, man. That's how y'all eat them up. Let's go.
This is it here.
Can Brady do it again? 54th quarter comebacks to the quarterback's name.
With 2 minutes left, the Steelers' lead was 5. Victory against the greatest of all time was in their grasp. All they had to do was hold on.
He's back. He dances. He fires a pass. And it's almost intercepted by Sean Davis. Oh, almost intercepted.
Oh, boy. You got to make that pick.
It could have been a game-sealing interception. A throw down the left side for Gronkowski. Makes the grab, and he is stuck at the 25. Brady throws on the go, finds Gronkowski, reaches down and makes a tumbling catch.
And man, Rob Gronkowski is back.
Hand off to Deion, runs it through the left side, into the end zone, touchdown!
Patriots are going for 2.
A lob to Gronkowski, right corner of the end zone, has it, 2-point score, 3-point game.
27-24 New England.
Greatest quarterback of all time brings this team back in the 4th quarter again. Way to go. That's a killer right there. Way to go. That's a killer right there. Always. You know that. It ain't over. Let's go. Let's go.
You have 52 seconds left in this ball game. Time for Ben to work his magic.
Fires it on a crossing route. That's Juju Smith-Schuster running up the field. Still on his feet. He's going to the 40. Cuts inside at the 30. Looks to pick up a blocker at the 20. Inside the 15 at the 10-yard line.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
I mean, are you kidding me?
How did he stay inbound?
Wow, that was amazing.
That's the way to be, baby. That's what a play. What a play. Oh!
First and goal at the 10. Throws it for a touchdown at Casey Kane. Would you believe that? The Steelers leapfrog back ahead with 28 seconds to go.
Unbelievable.
Did he complete the catch all the way to the ground and through?
You got to control it all the way because it's going to the ground. So if it moves on the ground, it's going to be incomplete.
After reviewing the play, the receiver in the end zone did not survive the ground. It's an incomplete pass.
That's a shame. What's a catch anymore? We don't know.
This 2nd down, we got no timeouts. If it's in the field of play, we got to play. You follow me? You got me.
28 seconds remained.
He's pressured. He slips the rush. He throws to the left. The pass is caught in the field of play.
So the clock is ticking. Steelers are out of timeouts. 3rd and goal from the 6.
Give him a call. Not clock, not clock. Give him a play. He can't clock it.
14 seconds to go. It's 3rd and goal from the 6. Is back, throws it over the middle.
Intercepted. Oh, my goodness.
It's intercepted.
An interception in the end zone. The Patriots are going to win in Pittsburgh.
Oh, boy. I just feel like I got punched in the stomach.
Wow.
Wow, what a finish to this game.
Holy. What a game, baby. What a day. What a day. Look. John, I love you, man. What a day. Awesome. Hey, how about that? Let's go! Let's go!
Well, taking a look at that awesome sound and the pictures there, look, we're going to talk about the catch rule later in this segment here for sure.
Yes.
But, Boomer, going back to a point that you made, a big takeaway after listening to the sound and watching what you saw.
Well, it gives me a real sense of what was going on the sideline.
And?
I said FUBAR in the opening. It's an acronym that the Army uses for things out of control, and it was a little bit out of control for sure on the sideline. And I love Mike Tomlin saying, give him a play, give him a play. I love that because he knows that it's 3rd down and he wants to win the football game, so call a play. Didn't seem like the offense coordinator got to Ben Roethlisberger because I was a little bit upset with Ben after the game.
Because?
The way he said, well, I wanted to clock it, they wanted to run a play, meaning the coaches, and there was a lack of communication there. So that also brings me back to my point. If you want to tighten things up around your team and you want to win and you want to beat the Patriots, which is the ultimate goal here for everybody, you got to be on top of your game from the beginning to the game to the end of the game. Because one thing we have seen, and history tells us, that the Patriots do it better than anybody at the end of the game. Whether you could ask the Seattle Seahawks, the Atlanta Falcons, you can ask the Rams, you can ask all these teams with the exception of the New York Giants. And I'm telling you, that was a little disappointing to see how uncoordinated that effort was from a communication
Critical
standpoint.
Moments of the game.
Well, look, I think it speaks for itself. I think Mike Tomlin was on top of it. If we're tackled inbounds, he said to Todd Haley, make sure you have another play to run because they had enough time. They had time to run it on 3rd down. He didn't want to clock it. Why didn't you want to clock it? Because it's 3rd down, and then you have to kick the field goal. He wanted another try in the end zone in case they were tackled. And Hayward Bay, great job by Malcolm Butler chasing him across the field, tackling him inbounds to keep the clock moving. But like you said, Boomer, the communication, that should have all been ironed out while they were reviewing whether it was a catch or not. And apparently it wasn't ironed out between the 3 of them on the sideline.
This is situation football. We practice this every week in practice. Every week. But guess who takes the ownership for it? The players. You have to know what you're doing in those circumstances. Tomlin's going. You got to have a play. You got to have a play. Haley's. You're not in the game. You don't know the way how fast that's moving. One of the things that we had when we started practicing those plays, you get into the 4th quarter, we're making that decision. And we're not going against that. When you see Ben is in that situation, think about Seattle. Go back a couple years ago. Same 1-yard line play, right? When you're going to the sideline to try to find that play in that situation, that's why we practice the game. That's why we work on that. Hey, so the players can take ownership. But let me ask, if that's Brady, they're spiking that ball. Kick the 3.
Or they'll have a play ready to go.
Or ready to go, absolutely.
Plenty of time, though, Brady, to run a play. There was plenty of time to run that play. They must have been telling Ben, somebody said, clock it. That's why he immediately said, clock it.
Right, but we're watching the same things happen against the Patriots. People are playing checkers instead of chess.
I'm just going to say this. From a quarterback standpoint and somebody who ran a no-huddle offense at the line of scrimmage predominantly my entire career, it's all about communication. On offense, on defense, these guys can make a mistake and still make a tackle by being aggressive. On offense, all 11 guys in that huddle on the field all have to understand what we're trying to get done. If you watch the Pittsburgh Steelers, it looks like 9 guys are all standing there thinking that he's clocking. The only 2 players making a play or trying to make a play are Ben himself and Eli Rogers running the slant. So it was a lack of communication on the part of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Real quickly,
I want to say something about the game, too, instead of just that and catch and no catch. The game, Pittsburgh showed everybody that they're willing to play a different style of defense to try to beat the Patriots, and for the most part, it really worked well. Now, I will say this going forward, if they happen to meet in the future, you got to do something different against Rob Gronkowski because he ran open basically every play of the game. Tom Brady could have probably
cover him,
except maybe once. And, you know, there is a thing called you can double teaming.
Yes,
you know, which they never did.
Look, let me end with this. Anytime we played the Patriots, you take Rob Gronkowski. Stopping and starting is the hardest thing he'll ever do. So all you do is walk your defensive end out, and before he leaves that line, you hit him and then rush the passer.
What the Patriots
you can take the guy out of the game, but to let Rob Gronkowski, the biggest man on the field, wow.
You know, let's remember this, though. You say it's easy to hit a guy that big. I said right here in this program last week, the reason I picked the Patriots were two reasons. One is because they are the kryptonite to the Pittsburgh Steelers, but two, I felt like Rob Gronkowski is uncoverable when he is healthy, and he is healthy, and boy, he's a monster.
Yeah, I got to say this. I know we're running long. My last thing is I did a lot of their games, and I talked to a lot of defenders that had to cover Rob Gronkowski, and every one of them after it was over said the same thing to me the following game. Wow, he's bigger than I thought he was.
Yes.
He's a lot faster than I thought he was, and he's really has great dexterity. You saw that in that catch where he took it right off the ground. So
we will discuss the catch rule, and most appropriately so, Brandon Marshall will be with us when we do that. But you know what? I'm going to end where we began. At the end, how many times have we had this conversation about teams against the Patriots? It's still down the stretch, making certain you're prepared to execute.
Look at the head coach, look at the quarterback, and look at the assistants. It's ridiculous how good they are.
All right, folks.